Indiana's very own CBS 4 This Morning starts now.
Friday morning and rushing floodwaters wipe out a road in Bloomington. Look at that water. Central Indiana still dealing with intense flooding and frigid temperatures. We've got team coverage to keep you safe on the road. A cop car crushed in an overnight crash. A suspected drunk driver behind the wheel of the other car. It was a head-on collision. Angela Brower with an update on how both drivers are doing. And remember that FaceTime bug where people could listen to you without you even knowing? There's a fix now. What you need to do as soon as possible. Good morning to you. I'm Frank Mick. It's 5 a.m. and here we are on another TGIF and another weather warning. Star, as we head out the door.
Yeah, we are going to take a look right now at this. So these are the Doppler estimated totals from the last couple of days. And you can really see that Indianapolis surely got in on a lot of rain, more than 2.5 inches just out of that system. But look toward Bloomington, much higher totals. And actually, I just looked at the record books. Bloomington was reading over an inch on Wednesday's rain, but then there are no new records for yesterday. So likely they're having issues because of all of that heavy rain, wind. We actually had Bloomington in a tornado warning yesterday. That tornado was confirmed in Knox County, an EF0, and that trekked into Bloomington. Now, we are watching this morning as everything continues to wrap up. We are going to be a lot quieter. We actually had a few very large snowflakes fall overnight, so you may see just the slightest coating of snow on the roads. Watch out for slick spots, but it's nothing that you'll have to shovel today. Now, let's take a look at visibility. So much better than yesterday, so big improvement there, and that cold front is through. You can really see the cutoff there, much warmer on the East Coast, but we are now down to the teens. So a very cold start to the morning. Bundle up. More on that full forecast in just a few minutes, Frank.
And as we've seen for several days, weather and traffic working together. We have breaking news at 5:02, and it has to do with traffic. A water main break on the north side of Indianapolis. This could get ugly. This is where Charlene Cristobal showed up a little earlier and bringing us these images. These are iced over roads. It is a mess on Kessler, right near Bishop Chatard, and yeah, that road is slick. No one's going to be navigating that for a while with water still gushing. So we'll keep you up to the minute on how crews are making progress on cleaning that up as Rachel does her thing as every morning. Keep an eye on the whole picture.
Yeah, that's right, Frank. And we'll start with how to get you around that because, as you said, that is ugly, and honestly you can just avoid the whole thing. It's pretty easy. So again, taking a look, this is Kessler right near Bishop Chatard. So you're looking not far from Keystone Avenue there. Honestly, you can just continue up Keystone or College depending on where you're coming from and use 62nd Street there as your alternate route. In the meantime, a lot of green on the speed sensors there, so you should be just fine. It shouldn't add much of a delay to you as you head out today. Also taking a look at another issue here, of course, flooding. So still dealing with more issues regarding that and all that water from yesterday. So Stop 11 Road on the south side, that is closed due to flooding. This is between McFarland Road and Sherman Drive. So in the meantime, you can either take McFarland or Sherman up to Southport Road instead. Use that as your alternate route and you'll make your way around there, Frank.
All right, could be an active morning, so stay with us. 5:03. Repairs are going to get started today after Clear Creek in Monroe County burst its banks in a major way and washed out a bridge and part of the road. CBS 4's Kobe Thielen live from Dillman Road, just off State Road 37. And the road's closed now, Kobe.
Yeah, Frank, and you can see why. Where we're standing right now, this used to be the edge of the road. Now we're standing on a pile of gravel because the road was completely washed away. Chunks of pavement like this now all through the woods here. This is about a ½ an inch thick. I want to get down and show you here because it's not just this layer of asphalt, but you can actually see now where the road was patched or patched over again or repaved over. Just layer by layer, that flood water took parts of it away. At some points, you can even see all the way down to where the gravel is. It's about 6 inches of pavement that was just now sitting along the edges of the Clear Creek right here. And it's a little bit dark, but over here behind us, there are huge sheets. I mean, probably about 100 feet, or not 100 feet, but about 10 feet, 10 square feet, leaning up against toppled trees right now. And the floodwaters have receded, but take a look at what it looked like yesterday. The water came all the way up about to the point where the road is now closed. And you can see why it washed everything away. It was up over the top of the bridge, and tree limbs, pieces of debris that were rushing by, most of them were actually just stopped by the guardrail, and that's it. The debris covered this single lane road, pieces of sticks, tree limbs, things like that. And once the water receded, it's still up until the bottom of the bridge yesterday. It's still pretty high this morning. It's receded significantly since that point yesterday. But we also spoke with Monroe County Bridge Repair Crew. They tell us that the next step here is going to be to survey the damage, to take a look at what needs to be done, and then they're going to have to figure out steps about how to fix it, how to go about fixing it. We're told that a supervisor might be available to speak with us a little bit later this morning, so hopefully we'll get an update about what goes into this and how long it could take. Of course, we'll learn all that a little bit later and bring that information to you as soon as we do. Frank, for now, send it back to you.
Yeah, it looks almost like that water got under the road and just started picking it up and moving it out of the way. Colby, thanks. 5:05 and breaking overnight, an investigation into exactly how this happened. A head-on collision involving a police officer. The officer, we're told, is going to be all right. The other driver, however, is in the hospital in serious condition. CBS 4's Angela Brower in our Breaking Now Center to explain exactly what went wrong here.
And Frank, yeah, take a look at some of the photos that Wayne Township Fire Department had tweeted out. Both vehicles, their front ends smashed to pieces here. Pretty incredible. Investigators say that IMPD officer was actually responding to a slide-off near Raceway Road, Washington Street, when all of a sudden that civilian in the red vehicle there hit him head-on. Detectives later determined that driver was impaired. So we're talking under the influence somehow. As you mentioned, that individual is now at the hospital and listed in serious condition. That person, though, not facing charges just yet. Frank, police will likely wait until he or she is released from the hospital for that.
All right, so before we let you go, that wasn't the only serious wreck we're dealing with. Can you talk a little about this incident involving an NDOT truck?
Yeah, exactly. So that State Department of Transportation confirming this morning someone hit one of their trucks along I-69. It was about 1 o'clock this morning, kind of a chain reaction here. That was the first crash near mile marker 203, so just north of Indy, just north of the 465 loop. Then, though, we saw a second crash in the backup, and that involved 2 passenger vehicles, so quite the mess. Luckily, no one hurt in either incident, and the interstate is back open at this hour. Kind of a bigger story coming from this, though, this morning, considering that we've seen 3 such incidents in recent weeks. NDOT now reminding drivers, please give room to trucks, especially as we deal with inclement weather. Obviously, today we have that flooding, the snow, and possible ice.
Yeah, they're big trucks. You don't want to hit those. All right, Ange, thanks. 5:07. A 70-year-old man in Bloomington has some serious cleaning up to do. A tree smashed his house. We've got the video. He was inside the house when this happened. That's a big old tree. The heavy rains and wind uprooted it in Regis's backyard. Regis says minutes before this tree came down, he was in the dining room where it fell.
Off, and all of a sudden the whole house just shook, and then I could feel the vibrations and everything just crashed, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a gas explosion or something.
Well, he got out of there just in time. He was the only person home when it happened. He was not hurt, and he says he does have insurance and a place he can stay while his home has to get some major repairs. The Brown County School Board has voted to terminate a track coach after he posted a picture of himself wearing blackface. Brown County High School assistant track coach Richard Gist was dismissed last month after the photo surfaced, and at the school board meeting last night, Gist, along with members of the community, were asking the board to spare his job. Ultimately, the board voted unanimously to terminate him, and now they say it's the district's job to move forward.
We're really committed to the next step, which is repairing harm through education and coming together as a community.
Well, the school board says prior to the meeting, they did offer Gist an opportunity that would have allowed him to return to the district in the fall, but it would require he first resign his position and undertake cultural sensitivity training. And he turned that deal down, saying he was not willing to voluntarily resign. For your morning here at 5:09, a 9-year-old Muncie boy being remembered as investigators try to figure out what caused this house fire that killed him.
He was just a very sweet child.
Are breaking all the way around. The fire broke out around 4 in the morning yesterday on South Walnut, and the boy was home alone. Police say the mother took the boy's dad to work, then went to her mother's house to do laundry and fell asleep. There were no working smoke detectors in that house. So sad. One country trying to bar R. Kelly from entering its borders. This is after that docuseries dove into years of sexual abuse allegations. And a clip of a father of a Parkland shooting victim going viral. What he's saying about his confrontation with a member of Congress.